how we come to a listing price. What I do in preparing a CMA is to take data from three sources: a baseline value, this can come from a recent sale, recent appraisal, or a tax assessment, the closed comparable listings in the MLS, and the active comparable listings in the MLS. Let me explain. 1. Baseline value, adjusted. First, I look at the tax records to determine what I feel to be the adjusted current value of the home. For example, if it sold 3 years ago for $15,000 and there's been an appreciation rate in that area of 12–14% per year, I calculate the appreciation 3 x 13% or 39% or $50,500, and then I add that figure to the purchase price. If the home hasn't been on the market for a long time, I'll use the most recent assessment value and adjust it the same way. Certainly, this particular method is rather subjective, but an experienced agent who knows his market can get close to a realistic number by using it. However, this is only one part of my valuation. 2. Closed comparables. Next, I pull up all the closed comparables in the area or subdivision going back a reasonable period of time, and I can usually find between 10 and 20 of these. In extremely hot markets where homes appreciate at double-digit rates, you shouldn't go back farther than a few months or so in order to prevent the CMA from being skewed downward. Don't forget that the amenities and how nice a home looks will affect the curb appeal and saleability of the property, but have very little impact on appraised value, so it's best to use as many comparables as possible. In selecting my comps, I use the subdivision, the square footage, with a range of plus or minus 10%, and the number of bedrooms and baths. I then calculate the average sale price of the group, eliminating any outliers up or down, e.g. homes that were foreclosures or distress sales. 3. Active comparables. Finally, I pull up all the active comparable listings. Again, I use the subdivision, the square footage, and the number of bedrooms and baths. But your market may be a little different in how the appraisers select comps. The point is to get as much data as possible. Using the numbers together now, we put it all together. Take the adjusted value from the tax records, add the average price from the closed comps, and then add the average price from the active comps. Now take that number and divide by 3, and you'll have the true average value for the subject property. Write down this new number somewhere, add 5% and subtract 5% from it, and you'll have a reasonable range for the value of the home, which tends to be plus or minus 5% from the average. In most markets, it's reasonably easy to support a value within 5%. So once the property sells, getting the appraisal shouldn't be an issue. I know this is an out-of-the-box way of doing a CMA, but it will absolutely stand any amount of scrutiny by clients, other agents, or, most importantly, appraisers. Moreover, using this method will protect us from accidentally overpricing or underpricing a property. Most importantly, it does reinforce the fact that we are a market authority and know what we are talking about. If our client should be harboring a suspicion that we are trying to skew the numbers, his or her fears will quickly be allayed because we have considered every possible comparable in the current value of the home. Nothing except a pre-appraisal could be fairer.